Right. And I think that they were encouraged by the anecdotal data. And I think that while they're not, saying that this is necessarily discouraging, they're saying to look at it with caution. I think Gilead has said the same thing in both of those responses. Neither of these data points are definitive data points. Don't give up on this drug just because of what you're seeing in this abstract. We really have to see the full data. One of the things I've talked about and I've said about the problem with even taking on this anecdotal data is baseline characteristics of patients, whether patients have hypertension, if they're diabetic, they have very, very significant impacts on performance. So, maybe that we'll see the full data set and there's a big imbalance. Most of the patients on Remdesivir are diabetic or have hypertension. And if you adjust for those imbalances, maybe there's an effect here. But the top line data is just not encouraging.
But it's also, I'm not sure how trustworthy it is. There are all sorts of reasons to pick this apart. One, it was done in China, and there are all sorts of questions about what's going on and what's coming out of China. Number two, it's unclear how early this was administered, and the results can still have very good efficacy if they're administered early. Maybe it was administered too late stage. It was a trial that was cut off early because they didn't have enough people to actually go through and take this medication. So, why are you putting so much stock in it?
So I would say, I point to a flaw in the logic that maybe it's just not early enough. If you look at the mortality rate in this study, it's only 13%. So that's indicative of a pretty early stage patient with COVID, right? And this is an IV therapy, right? So you're only really going to use this in hospitalized patients. It's hard to imagine going much earlier. So the fact that the mortality rate's sort of in line with what we're seeing in the case fatality rates worldwide, not that much more. It's hard to imagine you can move this drug much earlier into therapy.
Brian, very quickly, will we have an effective treatment by midsummer for this virus?
I'm skeptical of that. I think Remdesivir and hydroxychloroquine were sort of the best shots. I think both of those have shown significant reasons to be skeptical over certainly a big magnitude of effect for either of them. Certainly maybe one of them or both of them will show some ability to impact the disease to some extent, but the silver bullet is not here.
Brian,